Well, hello, Mallards. It is Thursday. I mean, technically it's Friday, but I haven't gone to bed yet, so I qualify that as still Thursday. And today I got up nice and early and I started working on a bunch of stuff, sent a bunch of emails, really went through my to-do list like you wouldn't believe, or you maybe would believe. When I'm focused, I can get a lot done. Feeling very accomplished today, actually. Got a significant amount of stuff finished and out of the way that I wanted to do. Also had a home inspection today because I want to lower my homeowner's insurance. So I had a 4-point inspection and that went well. I called to try and get my car scheduled for detailing. That went a little less well. I'll get it figured out. And just sort of worked through that stuff, worked on a bunch of stuff for Phoenix Tears, and I also did my first class video, like demo lesson for Outschool, which was really fun. I did a little bit on the dice you use for Dungeons and Dragons, so an introduction to role-playing dice. What are the different types of dice? A little bit about what they're used for, and a little bit about like the different types of games. It was just a short, like 6-minute video where I introduced myself. I introduced the idea of role-playing games and talked a little bit about dice. And I got approved for Outschool. So as soon as my background check is done, I'll start doing classes, which is really exciting for me. I'm definitely going to be doing some sort of role-playing game. It will probably be labeled Dungeons and Dragons because that's what people search for, but I'm hoping that we'll play other stuff instead. And I might just do a role-playing 101 class to start that's just, here are the basics of what the dice are, here is what a role-playing game is, here's an overview of different role-playing games so that you sort of have an idea of what they are, and then maybe I'll have some ongoing classes that are a campaign, which I think would be really fun. I think running games for middle schoolers would be cool. I'd really love to run Kids on Bikes for actual kids, or Kids on Brooms. I think that that would be really fun. I also think that I could run the In Your Name game so easily, and it would be really fun with kids like that. So I think that I'm going to probably list a little bit of that, and then I definitely want to do a parody songwriting class, so I will list that too. And I know it might take a while for students to actually find my classes and start taking them, and who knows, maybe a hit, maybe a flop. I'll try a few different things, try a few different names, see what I can get figured out. But I'm looking forward to the opportunity to teach kids on Outschool because I enjoy running games for people. I enjoy teaching people things. I think it'd be really fun to do a parody class and to work with kids on creating songs. I think it would be really fun to do storytelling through role-playing games because that's the big thing for me. Like, I don't necessarily like the battles. I like the battles, but for me, a big thing is the storytelling that you can do and the fact that playing an RPG is a collaborative environment where you're essentially writing a story together. And I feel like that's why a lot of campaigns that I've played in and that I've created have inspired me to then go and write more stories because you're already doing story creation there. And I think that that is super fun. And so I'm looking forward to doing that and working my way through that. And then this evening, I had a talk with a friend about all the theater stuff that he is doing, and that was really, really fun because it was nice to talk about inspirations with each other and share ideas. He's also going to an immersive networking event and offered to throw my name around while he was there, which is very exciting for me because I don't have the opportunity to do something like go to Vegas for an immersive theater event. So it's cool that he does and is willing to talk about what we do, which is very exciting. And I also played some Oculus this evening with Fred. We played Demio, which is essentially like a tabletop RPG. more like a top-down fighting game, I guess, but you're at a table, there's a dungeon there, and there are monsters. It's a dungeon crawl, and you can move your figure and do attacks. You have cards that are extra powers other than your just like regular attacking things. So you have cards that are like your melee powers and or spells if you have spells, or you can just do a regular melee attack, and there are some other mechanics that are part of it. But it's really cool because you're like looking at this table and you can move around and shift yourself by using the controllers. And it's a multiplayer thing, so there are up to 4 players. And so it was me and Fred, and then 2 people we didn't know who just came to join the game, which was really fun. Like, had an absolute blast with them, both very nice guys. We defeated the dungeon. I had a very enjoyable time. And they put up with me even though I asked a lot of questions because I haven't played before, and also even though I was bad sometimes. I've spent a lot of time playing the Room VR, which I really liked, and I've now beat, which is sad. I'm gonna have to wait a little while until I forget the nuances of that and play it again. But it's absolutely still worth buying because I think Amanda's going to play it. And then if Megan gets into the VR or Vex gets into the VR, like maybe they'll play it. And it was really, really, really fun. But in that game, you pick things up by holding down this trigger and you move by holding this trigger. And in Demeo, you pick things up by doing this trigger and you move by holding this trigger. And so I kept like trying to pick things up and moving instead. And I also kept, sorry, I'm yawning, setting things down when I didn't want to. Like, I was holding on to something and I wanted to move, and instead I set the thing down. So I moved places that I shouldn't have done and wasted actions that I shouldn't have wasted. Oops. Guilty. But overall, it was just a great time, and I'm really glad that I played. It's been really nice. So today was a banner day, and tomorrow I'm going to play Dungeons and Dragons in person for the first time since before pandemic. Like the one shot that I did with Ginger, that like Western one, I think is the last time I played a tabletop game, like played Dungeons and Dragons in person. I've played a couple of games in person since then. We did Brooke's birthday and I did the In Your Name Only one shot with people, but that'll be the last time I played Dungeons and Dragons, and also the last time that I've played a tabletop game since before I left for Iowa. So it'll be fun all the way around. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, clearly, I should go to sleep. So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you tomorrow.